All right, ARX-100. Let's see what it's all about. So we can go out to 3, Chad?
Might as well. You're here. Mm-hmm. I'm stacking them in there.
Wow. No, it didn't lock to the rear. Not bad. Cool.
Now about the size of a large dinner plate. maybe a big platter.
Well, maybe. Welcome back, guys. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 88. Today we're going to be checking out a rifle for you here. This is the Beretta ARX-100. This particular unit is on loan from Moss Pond. I borrowed it from Michelle. She was nice enough to, she said, yeah, take it out and check it out, see what you think. So we thought we'd take the gun out and put a few rounds through it for you today, go over it a little bit, and have a chat about it. This is one of those guns that for a long time for me was just kind of in the category of, you know, hey, it's kind of a military type gun that's just really cool, you know, it's lightweight, it's futuristic looking, it's got a lot of neat things going for it. But really, like, upon closer inspection, we've been spending a little bit of time with it and kind of checking it out. And this gun is actually very, very cool. It's very well engineered. There's a lot of interesting kind of design aspects about it that just set it apart and make it kind of unique and special. You know, going into it, I was maybe just a little bit sort of not sure if I was going to like it or not, but I've just really tried to approach this rifle with an open mind and try to kind of understand exactly what they were thinking and what they were going for with this. The ARX-100 is a semi-automatic version of the ARX-160, which is Italy's service rifle. They replaced the aging AR-70 with the ARX-160, and you know, it is a current service use rifle. It is a much more modular system than what they used to have. Although the AR-70 was an awesome gun, I could see why they wanted to kind of, you know, modernize a bit. You know, obviously it does accept STANAG magazines. We're running metal magazines. We did find that some P mags acted like they didn't really want to fit all that great. The Gen 3 P mags will not clear the mag well on this gun. So that's one thing that we noticed. Guys, it is a military tribute type of rifle. So we're talking a military spec gun, which can be good and bad. On the trigger, guys, the trigger's over 10 pounds. Like right now, I've got this optic on here, and if I take the gun, obviously, it's unloaded, guys. If I take the gun, put it on fire, look at that. See? It took the whole weight of the gun with the optic to set that trigger off. So definitely not like a lightweight, you know, match grade type of trigger. And generally when you're talking military type guns, that's one thing that you're going to run into. Most military guns have a trigger that exceeds the weight of the rifle. And I know that's weird, but that's just always been kind of a thing. So that's something to be expected. The barrel is kind of a not super thick barrel. It's kind of a skinny profile barrel. It's a 16-inch. I'm going to lock this bolt to the rear. It's a 16.5-inch barrel, cold hammer forged, 1-in-7 twist, 1/2x28. It has an adjustable gas system for normal power ammo and weaker ammo. Now, one feature about this rifle that really struck me as being awesome is the quick change barrel. You've got these two tabs right here, pull them down, and the barrel just comes right out, okay? That's pretty awesome. There is pick rail all around the chassis of the gun. It does utilize a very, I would imagine, a tough style of polymer chassis. It's some type of polymer that they do. I don't know. It seems like, you know, this gun would run into the same type of issue as like the G36, where over extended firing sessions, I would imagine that heat could really pose a problem with this polymer, but it's probably some type of a glass-filled polymer, or something like that. The rail sections are actually mounted directly to the polymer chassis. If I take this optic and I twist it, it's hard to see, but that whole unit is flexing. So far, hasn't really seemed to cause any type of an issue. The optic that we're running on this particular rifle is something that you guys have been requesting for us to have a look at. This is a Primary Arms Platinum, which is the more expensive model. This is the Japanese version. The Primary Arms Platinum model in a 1:5x8, and it's got the ACSS reticle. That's something that a lot of people have been asking us to kind of check out. So the purpose of this video, we're trying to kill two birds with one stone, because at some point we are going to kind of do like a shootout between the Primary Arms ACSS and then the ACOG, just to compare and contrast the two optics, and to show you guys a little bit more of a spill about exactly what the ACSS reticle is about. We zeroed this gun per the instructions for 62 grain ammunition, and it's working wonderfully. The adjustments are tracking beautifully out to 300, and before the video's out, guys, we are going to shoot this gun out to 600 yards. And like I said, guys, I've been trying to keep an open mind about this thing. Don't get me wrong. I am going to take the gun a little bit further apart for you just to show you a couple of things. You noticed earlier I locked the bolt mechanism to the rear. This rifle is a completely ambidextrous rifle, which is kind of neat. The safety can be manipulated from both sides of the firearm. The bolt stop can be manipulated from either side, and the magazine release can be manipulated from either side. There's also a magazine release button that can be used on the bottom as well. You push up, and it requires a lot of force, but you can drop the magazine with this. I don't know why they did that. I guess it's just kind of a thing. One thing I notice about it that I don't like is you're kind of stuck with whatever grip they give you on this thing. I mean, there's no provision to change the grip mechanism out on this. So kind of what you see is what you get there. Some type of expandable or interchangeable grip module would have been a welcome feature, in my opinion. Now I'm going to show you how this thing breaks down. It does have a folding stock mechanism with a few positions, so you can shorten it up if you want. And the whole point of a short stock, guys, if you're wearing body armor in a military situation, having that shortened stock just really helps when you've got that extra padding on your body to contend with the body armor. Now, some people have padding when they're not wearing body armor, but we won't go there. All right, so the stock does fold and lock to the side of the receiver, okay? So we're gonna leave the stock kind of unfolded like this. That gives me a little bit of a workspace here. To disassemble the gun, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm just gonna pull the grip stick off. You put the bolt forward, obviously ensuring that the gun is empty. There's no barrel in it, so it's obviously doesn't have a round in the chamber. You take the safety and you push the safety to the safety position, and then you overcam the safety. All right, hold pressure and you overcam it. Push in on this little module, and that whole unit just pops out. Okay, and we're gonna try to fish that bolt mechanism out in just a second. Now you see that the grip stick is highly modular. I could see where a drop-in trigger unit would be a much welcome feature for this particular rifle. I think that's very, very clever. And like I said, I went into this video kind of thinking, all right, well, this is not really a gun that really intrigued me that much. And it's like, okay, what do I really think about this thing? But looking at it with just an open mind and everything, it really is a super, super clever design. And I do like it. And the gun is growing on me the more I play with it. The gas system, I know I'm kind of bouncing around here. It is just a short stroke gas piston that is designed to have a minimal amount of required maintenance. So very, very easy to clean. And man, I love a takedown barrel system that allows you to pull the barrel out. This makes cleaning a snap. Let's say you've had a long day at the range and you got all kind of copper and junk and bull crap in your gas system. You got a nasty ate-up barrel. Or let's say you let a suppressor live on this thing and your suppressor's dirty and all this. You can pull the barrel, dunk it in the ultrasonic, cook the crap out of it, and there you go. Pull it out, dry it out, clean it, service it, back in the gun it goes, which is really clever. And for those of you out there that like to make short barrel rifles and things like that, you could easily order a 10-inch barrel for this thing and you can swap between your 10-inch barrel and your 16-inch barrel, which makes it really clever. Also, caliber conversions. The nice thing about a takedown barrel is the ability to change calibers easily. 300 blackout, I would imagine, would be a really easy thing for this. I've heard some talk that they're trying to work some type of a 308 conversion. I don't know how they're going to do it with this action size, or if it's going to be some type of a different modular system that you buy at a different time, that maybe you allow the long action calibers, but then you can swap back down to 300 blackout and 5.56 for your short actions. Not sure how that's going to work, but that is something that the Italians are experimenting with, is a 308 version of this system. All right, so we're going to get this bolt out of this thing. Basically, there's a little cutout right here on the side of the receiver. You lift out. It's kind of like spring-loaded. You lift out, and you kind of push forward and rotate it a little bit. Kind of one of those things you sort of have to hold your mouth right. All right, so see how that rotated? And then it sort of, not really snaps in place, but it just kind of like lines up inside the receiver. Bolt mechanism pulls out. So, almost like a G36. You know how you can change the charging handle location on a G36? It's very similar to that, where this charging handle can be manipulated to either side of the firearm. Also, with just a simple cartridge tip, you're supposed to be able to change out the ejection pattern to either side as well. So this is a truly ambidextrous rifle system, which is cool. I mean, you're talking ambidextrous ejection, ambidextrous charging, mag release, bolt stop, everything. One thing I wanted to mention, what's getting lighter, getting much lighter. One thing I did want to mention on this particular rifle is, although the trigger is a little bit on the heavy side, it does have a very generous and wide shoe, which gives you a nice consistent purchase on the actual trigger itself. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig this gun. You know, I went into it kind of thinking, not really sure what I'm going to think about it, but you know, the accuracy is not terrible. Earlier, you know, Chad was, we were getting this scope kind of sighted in, and Chad was putting some shots on the steel, and he was shooting like 1.5-minute groups with it, which for a military style gun is definitely acceptable. We are going to go ahead and put the gun back together, and I'm going to shoot it some more because I know y'all are probably just tired of hearing me talk. All right, so we're going to rotate this lever back out. It's one of those things you got to hold your mouth right on here, guys, is getting this bolt back in. All right, charging handle back out the way we had it, snaps back in place. That looks good. Grip stick, it's going to go back in. And again, we're going to have to cam over the safety. Okay, just like this. And should, yep, that goes right back in. We're going to breech the bolt to the rear, just like that. The barrel will be replaced, just like this. Nice and tight, that looks good. Test her out. Okay, so that's more or less like how the gun comes apart and some of the major features. I mean, we didn't really want to break apart like every little nut and bolt on it, but we want to show you how easy it breaks down and just kind of the intricacies of how this particular gun is set up. We're going to run some more ammo for you. This time we're going to try a Troy Battle Mag. This thing is like kind of, it doesn't, look, there we go.
It's got its own stand.
It's got its own little kickstand. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to shoot the gun some more for you guys. Have a little bit of fun. All right. All right, 62s. Gun's not shooting terrible. And guys, we are going to take this gun out to 600 for you today. It's just kind of our initial, you know, look at this gun. It's not really meant to be like a super in-depth expose. This is just, we had an opportunity to take the gun out. We thought we'd shoot it some for you guys.
All right, try walking it out from like 100 to 250 and then to 3.
You got it. All right, so how about 100 to 253? All right? I'm going to aim at the bolt at 100.
Yeah, just aim center mass.
Center mass?
Yeah. Remember, the top of the dot, I think, is what 100 is.
Top of the dot, okay.
Yep. Okay. It's like it's
Can't
still
say
favoring
I'm crazy
a little
about
left.
the trigger. All right, 200.
Mm-hmm. You're favoring a little bit left. We may have to dial it over just a little bit. Okay. Get out of here, bird. All right. Go up there to no man's land there at 250. A little low and right. There you go. Yep.
The thing's all over the place.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's a military rifle.
Yeah,
I mean,
I am shooting it kind of quick too.
Yeah.
All right, so out to 3, what do you want me to shoot at?
Just go for the 22-inch round again. I want to save that other target for the 69 grainers. There you go. I mean, it's right in there, man.
One thing I noticed, this one is set to left-hand eject, and it's weird like shooting the gun and seeing the brass eject right by my face. Hey?
We got a cow going across. You must have set it. Did you set it to left-hand eject when you were taking it apart? Because it was ejected right earlier, I thought.
We got a bogey down there, hostile downrange. We're going to turn him into hamburgers if he don't move. The gun does seem like it might be stringing around a little bit, but I am shooting it kind of quick. I'll tell you what, how about another mag of 62s?
Look, try the 69s.
69.
Try the 69s.
And use the rest?
And use the rest and shoot that left target there at 3.
Okay.
Just try using the 300-meter hash and see what happens.
Federal, 69 grain, gold medal match.
I'm just curious.
Gen 3 mag, Chad.
Oh man, well here, hand me that mag.
See? Won't work with a Gen 3 mag with the little hump on the back.
Here, I'll load it up in this one.
That's cool. So Chad's loading that mag. Yeah, I mean, I dig it. But one thing that I do notice about the gun that I think, for just longevity's sake, is just something to consider. And guys, don't hate me here. I'm just trying to be honest with y'all, okay? I see that in extended firing sessions, like if you're talking mag after mag after mag, I don't really see this gun being like not like a battle rifle. It's not like, hey, let's go to war and fight for days on end. I mean, this rifle, I think from a military aspect, is probably better suited for patrol use, carrying around in vehicles, walking around, going on patrol, everyday duty, guard shacks. I don't know if it just doesn't really scream like, oh my God, this is an amazing like military service gun or anything. I mean, now, I don't know. I feel like if I slammed this gun down or dropped it down a stairwell or dropped it off of the roof of a Humvee or something, thank you, I almost just feel like this thing would break. I just don't know how well it would hold up. I mean, then again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the polymers that this thing is made out of is maybe some gnarly stuff, and maybe I'm wrong. But that's just one of my initial observations, guys. Don't hate me. It just feels flimsy, and it feels kind of
meltdown.
You know, well, maybe
meltdown.
I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, I'm not basing that off of bull crap. I'm basing it off the fact that the G36 was plagued with the same problem. You know, all the polymers utilized in the G36 caused accuracy problems over time. The gun would heat up, it would string, it just wouldn't shoot worth the crap. We are seeing some really weird sporadic accuracy, so it's just something I want to report. It's kind of like the same issue with the Tavor, you know? Like the first 20 or 30 rounds you shoot out of a Tavor, they seem to shoot pretty well. But as that barrel heats up and as that barrel starts whipping around, they just don't maintain that accuracy for a long time. I guess that's the point I want to make there.
You know, I always go back to, it's not an AR, And an AR is still kind of king in the accuracy department to me as far as like a mil-spec gun goes.
It is.
But that's just my opinion.
It is.
Take it for what
I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, people don't want to hear it, I'm sure, but it's the truth.
You're wrong. All right, so shoot that left target, the half-size D28 3.
And use the 300-yard chevron.
Use the 300
Now, guys,
yard,
we are stepping up to 69 grain ammo, so this stuff is not moving as fast. There might be some slightly different point of impact, but we're going to see if it'll land on the gong with just a standard hold.
This is very unscientific.
Very unscientific.
I mean, if it goes from like a turkey platter to, you know, a tea plate or something like that, then yeah, we'll be working with something there. Oh yeah, shoot. Keep going. Same point of aim. All right, well that one's strung high above the head. All right, shoot a group. That stuff's all over the place. Well, those three stacked right on top of the head there. In the head again. All right, all right, all right. Might be working with it. Right over the top of the head. Right over the shoulder there. Just over the shoulder again. Wow, that's strung above the head.
You know,
I mean, that trigger, I think, is just the main detriment.
It has moments of accuracy.
Yeah, I think that match grade ammo shows a little bit more promise. I mean, kind of like the X95, you know, you run some 77 grain stuff out of the X95.
Yeah.
And boom, groups tighten up and everything like that.
But you still have to deal with that heating up and that whipping around. And honestly, guys, I mean, it's a 10-pound trigger. There's only so much accuracy you're going to be able to wring out of this rifle before you start upgrading the trigger. I did just a very preliminary search. It's a big word for me. I'm a redneck, remember. I did a preliminary search, and I found that there are some people working the trigger mechs on these things. I don't know about like just true straight up like drop-in units, but there are aftermarket trigger options out for this particular rifle. So I've seen what I need to see at 3. I think we're going to step it out to 6 on this and just see what she's all about.
Well, you mentioned that I was shooting like 1.5 minute groups over that. No,
you were. Quite. You were though. Well, it was only like a couple of like 3-shot groups, but they were, you know, when the gun was still relatively cool. As the gun heats up, it's just kind of all over. But
I don't know. I wouldn't say that it was like 1.5 minutes or whatever, because that's normally what I get out of that Freedom black box stuff and like Lithuanian out of like our 18-inch BCMs.
Well, and you know, the thing is, I think the gun is definitely neat. It's a unique design, which I do like. I love the engineering of it. I love how it's put together. Construction, material choices, I mean, yeah, they were trying to keep the gun light. This gun weighs about 7 pounds without the optic on it, so it's a nice lightweight option. And when you buy these guns new, they do ship with like kind of like their own little version, like the backup sights. And they are what they are. I mean, they're backup sights, but they're super lightweight. So a rifle like this, in my opinion, would probably be better suited for like dropping a little red dot on there, some backup sights, keep it nice and lightweight. So what would I buy this gun for? I would use it as like a truck gun, or maybe as a like bedside home defense type gun or something like that. Maybe a patrol rifle. If you're a policeman or something, your department allows you to take a rifle on the road, this would be a great patrol rifle. It's lightweight. And you got to think, in a personal defense situation, you're not going to be shooting a heck of a lot. Let's hope you don't have to shoot at all, but let's just say in a situation where you may have to, you know, fire a shot or two. For personal defense, it's not like you're talking like entire, you know, LBVs full of ammo where you're having to get in some extended, you know, silly type of gunfight. I think if you just understand the weaknesses and strengths of the gun and just kind of know what it's all about, I think that it's definitely got a lot more going for it than it doesn't. I do like it. I think it's cool. I probably wouldn't want one in my collection. I myself would not buy one. That's just me. I'm kind of more of an AR guy, but hey, if you're trying to scratch that like not an AR itch and you don't want a Tavor, or you don't want, you know, a bullpup of some sort, it's definitely a futuristic, neat, quality made, modern type of firearm that takes most Stanag magazines. You saw we had some compatibility issues with the version 3 of the PMags there. But all in all, I mean, not a bad rifle. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more robust mounting surface for your flat top, especially on the top of the gun where you're mounting your optic. It sure does seem kind of wobbly and like it moves around a bit. I mean, but maybe it's one of those deals where you drop a red dot on it and at relatively close ranges, if you're just talking CQB or something like that, that type of a roll, let's just say, or a close range personal defense weapon, then absolutely, that little bit of movement in the rail system is not really gonna matter. Now you start dropping an optic on it, shooting out to stupid ranges, which we're about to do, let's just see where the rubber meets the road. I'll tell you what, before we develop a final opinion, so far I would say combat accuracy out of the gun, definitely out to 300, but let's double down and let's take the ARX out to 600 yards. I'm gonna get Chad behind the gun, see what he thinks. Let's shoot the gun out to 600, see how she does.
Double down, that makes me hungry.
Double down.
I'm hungry now. All right, guys, we made our way up to the tower here with the ARX-100. I'm gonna take a few shots from 600 yards here with the ACSS Platinum. Ooh, the Platinum. It's nice. This is a pretty nice optic.
You got your
overall.
Italian rifle there.
My Italian, buongiorno.
Buongiorno, boy. That's right, third best.
But I don't speak any Italian. That's right, third's best.
Third best. All right.
This rifle is growing on me a little bit too. I was kind of, what the heck is that funky thing, you know?
It is a little, you know, odd to get used to. If
Yeah,
you've
is
never
this still
held
set
one.
up for left-hand ejection?
Yeah,
You must have messed something up when you took it apart earlier.
that's all right.
All right.
Go ahead.
Get shells in my face.
That'll be all right.
So I haven't messed with anything. We're just gonna run the 62 grain Freedom with the 600-yard hold on the reticle and see what happens.
All right. Bye.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Haven't
you're getting
touched
a
a
pretty
thing.
good right to left wind.
Yeah, so I think those are like 8.6 mile per hour wind holds.
Give it a full wind hold.
All right, well, I'm gonna hold on that little dot there.
All right. It may not need it.
Maybe not, but I'm just gonna shoot it and see. So I'm holding on the dot. Well, might help if I charge around.
Put one in the tube, boy.
Put one in the tube. Well, that was a pretty good trigger squeeze on that 10-pound trigger.
Yep.
Maybe more than that.
Dude, that was spot on, man.
Well,
Spot on.
I don't need to hold for wind, I guess. Well, whatever.
No, it was, you hit just low and right at the gong.
No, I know, but I was holding for wind. It hit like right in line with the vertical stadia. I'm literally holding off to the right for the wind. We got a right-left wind.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so
Whatever your hole was, it was correct. All right, that was about 2 feet low.
Yeah, that
and the
one hit
wind
low there.
carried you maybe about 4 inches.
so at 6, it's a little bit off.
Yep. I wonder if that Freedom's a little underpowered.
I don't know. It seemed to be pretty much in line with that Lithuanian, but I haven't chronographed this stuff though. It might be slightly underpowered.
Did you make an adjustment of your hold to compensate for the wind?
I did.
Yeah, split it in half and give it just a little bit more elevation. You're right in there.
All right, so right now I'm holding at 650.
All right.
Or well, 675.
Just under the gong, like a few inches under it.
All right, so I'm holding at 7 now.
Impact. Impact. Low.
Low right, yeah.
Impact. 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 Dude, those little 5.56s are just like Marvin the Martian down there, like dang, like you can barely see him splash the gong.
Yep. All
and
right,
this wind, man, it's nuts.
So with this particular ammo, I mean, it groups really well compared to like some of the Lithuanian stuff that we've shot in the past, and it's cheaper. But
I'd say it's underpowered though, Chad.
Yeah, as far as velocity goes, it doesn't feel that underpowered like some of the 55 grain stuff. That stuff is more like 223 Remington velocity. It's not like NATO spec ammo, not like full velocity, like full power, full house ammo. This stuff feels
I'm very
full house.
impressed how accurate that rifle is.
It's not bad. I mean,
I dare say, I mean, it just about shoots as good as my wife's Scar.
boy, that wind.
Yeah, I know. It probably costs a lot less. Impact. 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 Just low, Chad.
All right, just for fun, I'm gonna shoot the 8-inch popper.
Go ahead, man. I think you might be able to get in there.
All right,
Just
I saw
left.
It. Yep, I saw it.
High and right, about 8 inches. Just to the left. Just low and right, barely. You're right in there, man. You're probably shooting about a 10-inch group.
Yeah,
that was just high and left a little bit.
Yep. This glass is nice and clear. You can, I mean, on a rifle like this, you know, with low recoil, you can just about spot for yourself as long as you can see the impacts.
Yeah, I mean, you're shooting it good.
Go back to the big gun.
I mean, I imagine that if you shot that gun up against a Scar, head to head, both with an equally good trigger, it'd probably hold its own against a Scar.
Probably.
Not bad. No, you're right all around it.
That was it.
I mean, it's shooting decent.
Shooting decent.
All right, and that's
All right.
69 grain.
So that's some of the 69 grain match ammo. We're just gonna let it stay hot, and we're just gonna shoot that half-size D28 over there on the left.
Okay.
It's so weird that brass ejecting out this side.
That's kind of neat with that little 20-round mag in there.
I know, it is kind of
light and handy.
It kind of sucks most of that mag up in there. It's like because of that tall body on this thing. So far, I mean, I like this rifle. It's been very, very reliable. I mean, like Eric mentioned about the whole like polymer body and chassis, I guess, you know, as far as heat transfer goes, how well that stuff will actually handle heat and not warp or get all crazy. I'm not terribly crazy about the aluminum on polymer here for the optics mount. I mean, like you saw Eric earlier, he was just twisting that thing around. Doesn't instill the best of confidence, I wouldn't say, but I mean, this is a military rifle. So
Seems to work.
it works.
Maybe it's not of consequence,
Maybe not.
perhaps. Just trying to be fair here, guys, you know?
All right, so let's see. At 300, when you were shooting the 69s earlier,
Yeah.
they were hitting a little high of your aiming point. You were aiming dead center.
They were hitting a little low. They're not as hot as those 62s.
No, where were you aiming on that 300 yarder?
Dead on, and they were hitting a little low.
They were hitting high. They were hitting the head.
You sure about
Yeah,
that?
positive.
Well then, hell, try the 600 and aim right on it then, I guess.
All right.
See what that does for you.
Let me see. I'm gonna use a 700-yard hold, and I'm just gonna drop it down to the base of the plate, and then just kind of square it up for the wind.
Go.
See what happens. So I'm aiming for the one on the left now.
All right.
Oh, safety. Duh. That trigger's so heavy, I forgot about it.
I'm not crazy about the position of that safety and the throw of it.
Yeah, I mean, you got longer thumbs than we do. You can get to it a little bit easier, but I find that I have to reposition because the lever itself is like real stumpy. real short compared to like a standard AR style safety. I'd like to see maybe that thing be a little bit longer where you can get a grab or get a hold on it a little bit easier. All right, so.
Yeah, because we know it's all about being longer and being able to hold on to it easier.
Here we go again. Just a tip, right? Yeah, this video is going to get demonetized just for that.
Nah. Go ahead.
All right. I'm squeezing the trigger. I've been squeezing the trigger ever since she started talking.
Dude, I'm not going to be able to see where those rounds are going.
Well, look, let me find my point of aim over there on the 8-inch.
Yeah,
okay?
that'd be great.
Bye.
Just to the left of the gong.
Okay, yeah, I saw it.
So you should be on the gong.
I'm still on the 8.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. They hit like a foot to the left.
Okay. All right.
It seems like that round's getting there quicker. That must be hotter ammo.
Don't know. All right, I'm just going to use the wind hold.
I swear it's like that time of flight is a little quicker.
I may just have to shoot the big gong and just.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing.
All right.
There's no way you can spot those impacts with this wind blowing everywhere.
Yeah, I heard the plate. I mean, it was an impact, but I'm not sure where. I'm just going to use the 700-yard, you know, wind hold.
The thing is, the people, the camera downrange knows what's going on.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh, and by the way, we have to make a disclaimer in every video, but we do know how to spot kind of that camera downrange is like 30 feet to the left. So the angle that you guys see in the camera downrange is really far off.
It's different than what we're seeing, guys. So don't think that we're calling the
that round hit right. What's he saying left for? What the heck?
Dude, this wind.
Dude, it literally picked up.
Yeah, now it's about a 15-mile-an-hour wind.
All right.
Looks like you hit it.
I heard it.
It's like it was right under the gong that time. Impact. I think it's putting them right in there. Right over the top of the gong. Yep. Impact. Impact. Over the top. And it's kind of putting them right in there, man.
Yeah, so we'd probably have to adjust the gas system to the underpowered setting. That didn't lock the bolt to the rear that time. I do like the ergonomics of all the controls, for sure. I mean, the bolt lock right here, like last round hold open, you just push that thing up there, either side. Magazine release on either side. I mean, it is a pretty slick little rifle. And you know, they've got one of these in 22. No, I'm just kidding. That would be kind of a neat gun, but the proof's in the pudding. I wasn't really terribly impressed with the accuracy and all at 3. I mean, it was kind of all over the place, it seemed, but man, I mean,
when I got on a string with those 69s, it was shooting really good.
It was. I mean, it was impacting like right up there in the head. I mean, I'm sure with a 1-7 twist barrel with some like 77 grain, like some of the, I don't know, some of the Razor Core like IMI stuff or whatever, just some better quality like match grade ammo, I bet this thing would really pit the ace. But the 62s, I mean, for a military rifle, you've got a barrel that'll last 20 or 30,000 rounds, more than anyone will ever shoot in their entire lifetime. I mean, I've burned out stainless steel barrels in a couple thousand rounds that were on the cheap side. You know, that's a quality barrel. It might not shoot as well as, you know, a match grade AR barrel, whatever the case is, but I'll tell you what, it'll get the dang job done.
Yeah, sure will.
But personally, if this was my rifle, I would just drop like an aim point like patrol or like a comp M3 or an M4, something along those lines on top of it, a T1 or a T2, and I would zero it at 50 yards, be good out to 250, hold a little high at 3, and just run 62 grain ball. I mean, that's just me personally. You know, an ACOG would probably be pretty good on this thing too, or something like, you know, obviously what we're running here. This is a little bit of a heavy optic. It's kind of asymmetrical for this gun, I guess, or it's just, the gun's so lightweight, putting a big heavy optic on there is kind of...
It does throw the balance off.
Yeah, it does,
gun.
just a little bit. I'd rather have a red dot on it, but I do like it. My mind has been changed actually getting behind the gun and shooting a little bit rather than just looking at it and just learning about some of the features and everything of it. It's a neat rifle, especially for somebody who's like a military arms style collector who likes 5.56 military style guns, things like that. You know, you got the AR-70, and then you've got the next iteration of what the Italian military is using now. You got the ARX. Pretty neat setup. And as you can see, I mean, it delivered the goods. Not one hiccup, save for a couple of last round bolt hold open issues, but that's just attributed to the ammunition and the gas setting that we had there. But pretty nice. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and this look at the Beretta ARX-100. Pretty neat gun overall. Stay tuned, we got a ton more on the way, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks guys, later.